Alright, let's talk Indie River, of course. Now, I would like to begin this video with the main problems, which I call as cons. Yes, of course, there is no vehicle which is perfect, so as this. And the primary complaint that I have with this one is the front suspension, as I even highlighted during my test ride. I mean, I don't know why they did this, because this back suspension is amazing. It tuned to perfection. If you're riding with a pillion, the pillion is definitely going to love this scooter. But it's quite contrasting when it comes to the front suspension. I'm not sure why. It's a bit stiff. Okay, so this is something Indy should really look into. And point number 2, headlights. Headlights, I think they're a bit better. I'm not sure again at this point, but yes, I think they're a bit better compared with the Gen 1. But still, they're still not great. Especially if you're riding under city conditions and highway. That's definitely not going to help. Okay. Problem number 3, no ABS. Of course, there is CBS, combi braking system, but nothing like ABS. And I don't know why riverindie decided not to go with ABS. See, I mean, if you would like to, bump up the price to maybe another 20-25k, I'd be happy to pay for that ABS. Because ABS gives me that confidence in case if there is some idiot just jumps in front of me. I still know I can, control my bike, given that, this scooter comes with 2 disc brakes. Yes. Yeah, so I think Indy should definitely look into that. Point number 4 is the build quality. And don't take me wrong, this scooter is well built.
अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो?
Yes, that sounds paradoxical, but trust me, there are some components that are really built very well. However, when it comes to a certain parts, for example, this display over here, or let's say the lock of that glove box, or let's say the seat. I'm not saying the seat is bad. The seat is huge. I mean, the boot is huge, so the seat is also, designed appropriately. However, the problem is, where the hinge of that seat is, kind of wobbly, when you open it. Again, the rubber flap that covers the charging port, it's easy to pull it out, but to put it back sometimes and not just me, but there are many people who find it a bit difficult. So they should come up with something more ergonomic and a little bit easy to operate. And there are a few minor annoyances. These are definitely not going to be a deal breaker or something that you should really be concerned about. But why do I call them minor annoyances? Because they want to annoy you every now and then. Yeah. Number 1 is the beep sounds. Okay, these, especially if you're in a quieter environment, say for example in your apartment, where you're trying to charge or disconnect the charger, this thing beeps so high, and it's definitely going to wake up someone who's in a deep sleep.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Just kidding, but yeah, the beeps are really annoying. So they should at least give us an option to switch off those beeps. Or just enable only the indicator beeps. I think that definitely helps, and that sounds more practical to me. Yes.
Indy was smart enough to give you a charging brick which doubles as a dumbbell. Thank you so much, Indy. I really love this charging brick.
And the other thing is, there is no hazard lights on this. The Gen 1 had it, and they removed it when it comes to Gen 2, because so in Gen 1, they had a couple of more buttons here, and when you press them in combination, that enables the reverse mode. The scooter just goes back, right? However, they removed these 2 switches, and they enabled that functionality on this. You see this P button, and they removed the, guess what, the hazard lights. Why Indy? Why? I still don't understand. That is one of the most useful and safety feature that every scooter, bike, irrespective of their capacity, that should have, at least in 2025. And you removed it. Doesn't make any sense to me, right? And tell me how many times I'm gonna use the reverse mode on a day-to-day basis. Very minimal. Very minimal. Right now I'm shooting this on 8th of November. It's been more than a month. And even till today, I think I used it only once. It happened for me to use it only once. That's it. Please, please bring back that hazard lights. The other thing is these mirrors. These mirrors are kind of a bit small. Not a big deal, but I just thought of you folks should know this. So this is a bit small. So unless you adjust them properly, I don't think you'll get a proper view of what exactly, and they're not going to give much of a coverage. So just keep that in mind. So these are a bit, minor annoyances, However, you can just ignore them.
No.
Now, let me tell you why I bought this Indie. That's because primarily it's stability. This is one of those scooters that is highly stable. That is highly stable, especially when you ride it through potholes or pot bumps or speed humps, whatever it is. Even if there is a road, there is no road, this scooter is not gonna throw your balance off. That is for sure. And trust me, I almost, one day it happened for me to, take my mom, my kids, okay, on the scooter. It was just amazing. The corner stability was amazing. I just was like, I nowhere felt this, okay, this scooter is gonna skid. No, it never happened. Never threw the balance off. I think India has put all their engineering R&D effort on the stability of the scooter. Man, I really, really appreciate that. I don't know how many times, how many people I told this is one of the most stable scooters, one of the most practical scooters that you can ever buy, but this is amazing. The corner stability, just right planted, man. Excellent cornering stability, highly planted. 10 out of 10 for Indy on that. Now, the second reason is the storage. This comes with a huge amount of space. You can kidnap someone, put them in the boot, and you can carry. Yes? Haha, no. No, seriously, there's a lot of space. I can carry my Axor Apex helmet, full face helmet, okay, and I still have space for another 2 kilos of tomatoes or onions or whatever it is that you can carry. Imagine that's the amount of space, and especially this glove box, I think that's around 12 liters. A lot of space, and also they brilliantly, they added a USB port inside here, and also there is one more here, so that is fantastic. By the way, I think in Gen 3 they removed one port. There is only one USB Type-C port. Gen 2 comes with a USB Type-A, so just keep that in mind. And you have a small rack kind of a thing to keep your mobile, and there's a lot of space apart from that to keep your maybe your wallet, a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. So we're talking about storage. At this point in time, there is no other scooter that can beat Indie River when it comes to storage. Not even Aetherista. And point number 3, the battery predictions. Again, these are first impressions. So their battery, the range prediction is accurate. Okay, and it says 92 kilometers. Of course, you're gonna get 92 kilometers, not less, not more. So that is great. I never did 100 to 0. I never wanted to, because that's gonna have what's wrong, man? Why do these people put so aggressive, what do you call them, rumble strips? Okay, anyway, back to the point. This comes with 3 modes. Of course, we all know that. Eco, which is of useless, it will not go more than 45-50 kilometers per hour, and you don't have enough power over there, right? It's just, if you wanna just squeeze the last drop of power out of the battery, yeah, I think Eco is the one to go. But however, that's not the practical mode. The most practical mode is Ride, which you see there, okay, and there is one more mode which is called Rush. I think that's where the range drops to around 70 or 80, I'm not sure. So, but most of the times I ride the bike I ride it in Ride mode, which is which has sufficient power in city. Even right now I'm on a highway and I'm still riding in ride, so I don't see no problem with that. So I think ride is the best mode. That gives you around 92 kilometers range. So I think I forgot to mention one more thing, which is the talking about the build quality. Is this panel? This panel, I think they use one of the most cheapest material, so it gets scratched easily. So just be mindful about it whenever you are cleaning it. Use only microfiber cloth. As you can see in the pictures, my kid was trying to play with the keys, and it's not some other keys, just the indie scooter keys, and that's what happened. So just be mindful of it. So if you're a female, and if you're thinking to buy this scooter, and if you're worried that it is a bit heavy because it's around 143 kilos, no, you don't feel the weight when you're riding it. And in fact, that weight is something which contributes that that planted stable ride of the scooter. So just don't worry about it. That's definitely not a concern. That's the reason I never discussed about it, but just letting you know, so that in case if anyone has this question, you're welcome. Now to summarize, I think this is one of the most practical scooters, including that storage space, that massive storage space. This is definitely a most practical scooter. And the reason why I haven't considered the WhatsApp notifications and all that nonsense is that when you're riding on Indian roads, dude, focus on the potholes, okay, not on your WhatsApp notifications. And one more thing which is highly overlooked in this is that this foot pegs, man, why is it that no one couldn't come up with such an idea? This is one of the most practical features. I mean, obviously we Indians love to carry all the groceries, cylinders, water cans, whatnot on the footboard, right? And where do you keep your legs? You fold them and shove it up in your no, right? So that's the reason Indie provided these foot pedals that extend outwards. That's a brilliant idea. Brilliant. I love Indie for that. Okay, thank you, Indie. Thank you so much. But at this point in time, if you ask me, there are no major issues. There was one minor issue with the charging flap. It was not opening in one pull. So in the first service, they fixed it. So that's not an issue.
Subscribe, guys, for videos. Bye bye.